Hello and welcome back. I'm Mr. Michael. In today's Lego project, we're covering how to get an exact angle on a single motor. So I click on my single motor and you can see I have my single motor already connected. When I click on my single motor, it's going to show our rotation count as a default, going down to angle with our drop down arrow here. Click on angle and we are set at 0 angle here. On my single motor, I do have our orange indicator to show how our motor is moving and what angle it is as well. To set our motor to an angle, I'm going to go over to our code block to run our angle, and I'm going to regulate our speed here to set speed. I'm going to run our speed a little slower to, let's do 10%. That'll allow us to see. I click on this again. It's a show. This will be the speed our motor will go in. And I'm going to I'm going to hit a stop motor over here as well. I'm going to choose a random angle here. And why I'm doing this video, because the motor actually has float in it. So if I kind of just touch our motor here a little bit, you can see it can go to +1 or 0. Sometimes it'll go to -1 or 0. For our Spike Prime and EV3, they did have a float range a little bit higher, which was could float up to -3 or +3 in that. So if your vehicle is sitting still or on a ramp or something, or if you're lifting something, it could vary in a small angle. And with this video, I'm going to show you how to get an exact angle and even hold an exact angle if a load is applied. So we have our speed set at 10%. Our random angle is at 141 angle, and we're going to stop our motor. Let's hit our play button on our code and see if we get 141. Okay, we did get 140, which is close. And if I give our motor just a little touch there, it will go. You can see it floating back and forth here. And let's try one more random numbers, kind of swing that over the 243. Hit our stop button and go again. And we're at 243-ish. So you can see we're just kind of floating around there a little bit to 142, maybe 143. This is not a significant amount of angle to be concerned with, but if you're doing maybe a league or a special project, it may be. So in addition to the code blocks we have here, I'm going to stop my code and we're going to go down to control, down to here, and I'm going to go in my control block. I'm going to add a repeat block with this. I'll deconstruct our code block we have here. I'm adding my run to angle inside of the code block repeat. We're going to repeat that for 10 repeats. And what that's going to do for us is give 10 confirmations very, very quickly. And for our 10 confirmations, that's going to allow us to get this number and confirm it before we stop. So let's choose another random angle and I'll just swing over this way. We have 110. We're going to play our code and here we go. What you'll hear in your motor when you're playing this, you'll hear a couple of clicks for the motor basically pushing itself and confirming that it's there. It's kind of going a back and forth motion. So you can see we're holding sturdy at 110. Let's do another test here. Let's go up to 24 and stop our code and run it again. And we're at 24. So this has allowed us to run our code and get our exact angle. And this code kind of keeps us outside of the float. So we're floating at 24 and not 24 and a half, which is or 20, a little more than 24 and a half, which is pushing 25 or 23. let's talk about how to hold this position when needed. So again, if there is a load on the motor, we want to hold that position. For this, we don't have that code block shown here because these are the standard blocks. We're going to go down to this position here for plus code blocks. And this is going to give us all the code blocks. When I click on this, this is going to allow us to have some additional, more advanced code blocks to use. One I'm particular focused on is when motor stops. So we'll select this one. I'm going to add this right before my stop motor. I'm going to show a few options in this, which are brake, coast, hold position, and continue. I do want to hold position, and this motor will hold position and apply a power to it. So power is actually under the speed. So if I slide up a little bit, it's going to show what power is being applied to this motor. It has an internal alignment for it, and it'll push power either positive or negative at whatever force is needed to keep you at whatever angle you requested it to be. So we don't have our code running now. We have zero power applied, and we haven't asked our code to do anything yet. So let's go over to angle. Let's go to, see if I can get this to zero just by doing it here. And I'll hit my plus, my minus here to get us to zero. I want to go to zero angle and hold it. Let's hit our code block to play. We are at zero and we're holding zero. You can see it kind of fluctuating there. And let's see what kind of power we are holding here as well. You can see our power is pushing a positive here, holding this in position. And I'll push my stop button here to stop the code so you can see when the power goes away. And there we go. So if something is pushing against this, this will give a great resistance to holding it at zero. And you can adjust this to put the whole position inside of this, add more repeat blocks. And what this will do is if there's a really strong force applied to this into your motor, it will pull that back at a greater power, up to 100% power, negative or positive. And that 100% power or whatever that will be is quite strong. It's actually very impressive for such a small motor. Thank you for joining, and I will see you all the next time. Until then, have fun building.